everybody. Ben Gothard here. And today I want to talk about something that is both important as an entrepreneur and important as just a general human being on the face of the planet. And what I want to talk about today is how to become a better persuasive speaker. Okay? Now, why is it important to be more persuasive, to become a better speaker, to be able to persuade people to your side? Well, I think naturally we all understand how important it is to be able to communicate with other people. Okay, that's basic social skills. Okay, so basic social skills can get you only so far, right? Because being able to talk to somebody and communicate with another person is important, but that doesn't always guarantee that you're going to be able to persuade them to your side. Now, the tool that I want to tell you about today is going to help you become a better persuasive speaker. Now, I did not come up with this tool, okay? This tool was created by a very knowledgeable man, and it's called Monroe's Motivated Sequence, okay? And it's one of the world's leading tools on becoming a better persuasive speaker. Again, it's Monroe's Motivated Sequence. So I want to take you step by step, and there's 5 different steps to this, okay? There's 5 steps to articulating your argument. That's kind of ironic. I stuttered on the word articulate. Articulating your argument, making sure that you are capturing the audience's attention, making sure that they understand what's going on, making sure that you address that which they understand, help them visualize, and then give them a call to action at the end. Okay, so let's start with number 1. The first step in becoming a better persuasive speaker, or the first step that you need to take when speaking, is to gain the audience's attention. Now, you can do this in a few different ways, right? The best way is to know your audience, know what they want, and give them that. Give them exactly what they want, okay? When your dog is at the door barking, you know that the dog wants to go outside. So in order to satisfy the dog, in order to gain the dog's attention, you let the dog outside. The dog has actually gained your attention by barking and getting you to go and open the door. Okay, so it works both ways. So you have to begin to orient your listeners to the focus of your presentation by arousing their interest either visually or mentally, and in some cases both. If you're good, you can do it in both ways, okay? Now, let's take this very video, for example, okay? How did I start this video? I started this video by asking if you wanted to be a better persuasive speaker. The tag says, do you want to be a better persuasive speaker? That is gaining the audience's attention, okay? That's getting people to come in because they want to learn how to be a better persuasive speaker. So you see I'm using the actual system in this very video, okay? And I did that on purpose, and that's because I wanted to prove to you that this works, okay? So again, the first thing that you need to do is gain the audience's attention. That's otherwise known as arousal in Monroe's Motivated Sequence. Okay, so why do you have to gain the audience's attention? Well, when somebody comes on to either your platform where you're speaking, or a Facebook Live video, or an Instagram video, or a YouTube video, whatever it may be, they are going to give you a certain amount of time to prove that what you have to say is useful to them. Okay? And you only have a little bit of time to do this because people are very busy. People have very busy schedules. People don't have that much time. And most people do not want to sit through something that's not beneficial to them. So you have to quickly gain the audience's attention, and you have to keep it throughout the whole presentation, the whole persuasion, if you will. Okay? So that's the first one. The first part of Monroe's Motivated Sequence is to gain the audience's attention. Okay? Let's move on to number 2. The second one is to establish a need. Okay? So here you're trying to show the significance of the problem. You're trying to indicate what has happened to cause the problem to develop, and you want to talk about how many people are actually affected by this problem. Okay, so let's actually break it down and apply it to this video. So the first sub point of establish a need, the second main point, is to show the significance of the problem. Now, clearly, being able to persuade people is a huge skill to have. If you can talk to an individual or a group of individuals and get them to not only become on the same wavelength as you, or join your side. But you can start a movement that way. You can sell products that way. You can make friends that way. You can build relationships that way. You can establish a following. There's so many things you can do when you're able to persuade people to take your way of thinking. Okay, so that's the significance of learning how to become a better persuasive speaker. Okay, learning how to use Monroe's motivated sequence is important, because if you aren't able to do it, if you aren't a good persuasive speaker, you won't be able to get anything that you want. Okay, you won't be able to make sales to customers. You won't be able to get your friends to do what you want to do. Right? It could just be in your personal life. You might just want to get people to do the things with you that you want to do. Okay, you need to be able to persuade them. Right? People are very hard-headed. They want to do what's best for them. So if you can persuade them and show them that what's best for them is actually what's best for everybody, then you can do a lot of things. You can become a leader. You can develop your leadership skills, okay? So that's showing the significance of the problem. You also need to indicate what has happened to cause the problem to develop, okay? Now, in this example of this actual video, I don't think this problem has necessarily developed, and I don't necessarily think it's a problem. I think it's a skill that people have, or maybe are trying to uncover, that they then want to develop. Okay? Anybody can be persuasive. Anybody can be persuasive. Okay? It's just about how you go about doing things, how you carry yourself, how you communicate, how you interact with others. All of that comes into play when you are trying to persuade somebody to do something. Okay? So I don't think it's as much of a problem that we're trying to solve here, but it's more of a lack of a development of a specific skill, which is the skill of persuasion. Okay? And then how many people are actually affected by this? Well, everybody. All 7 billion people on the planet are affected by this, because, one, everybody needs to be able to persuade other people to do something, or to take some sort of action, or to join them in some cause, or to be a part of a community. But everybody else that's being affected, that's being persuaded, those people are affected by the persuasion of others, right? So if you have people with an honorable agenda, people who are good people, and they are better at persuading the groups of people, they're good leaders, and there's more of them, then we're going to be heading in a more positive direction. But if more people with not so honorable of an agenda, if more people who maybe they're not using their skills of persuasion for good become better persuaders, then people are going to be following those people with not as honorable intentions. Okay, so we need good people, good leaders, strong leaders who are ethically sound, morally sound, to become better persuaders, better persuasive speakers. Okay, so the first, again to recap, the first part of Monroe's motivated sequence, which is the tool that you can use to become a better persuasive speaker, is gaining the audience's arousal. The second tool is establishing a need. This is dissatisfaction, okay? The third is then satisfying that need that you just established. Okay, so how do you do this? Well, you have to illustrate at least 2 proposals to solve the problem developed in the point that you just made, right? So you just established a need. Now you need to illustrate at least 2 potential solutions for that need. Okay, and I'll give you an example. Do you want to become a better persuasive speaker? You can do this either by following a tried and tested method called Monroe's motivated sequence, or you can try to do it yourself. Now, which one sounds better to you? The tried and tested way, or the way that has never worked before and you're still developing? Now, what I would say to satisfy the needs of the people that you're trying to persuade is you have to very clearly describe how the solution can solve the problem. Okay, so do you want to be a better persuasive speaker? If yes, use Monroe's motivated sequence. That's how you solve the problem. The problem is now solved because of that solution. Okay, do you want to be a better persuasive speaker? Yes, use your own method. Okay, you don't have a method. You don't know what you're doing. That's the whole point, right? So you want to provide 2 potential solutions and then clearly show which one is the best. Okay, so you want to satisfy that need by again, offering two potential solutions by giving the audience, giving the community that you're speaking to hope that you can solve that problem. Okay, so that's the third main point, is that you have to satisfy the need. Again, the first is to gain the audience's attention, the second is to establish a need, and the third one is to satisfy that need. Okay, and again, these are 3 out of 5 steps in Monroe's motivated sequence, which is a tool that you can use to become a better persuasive speaker. So the fourth tool, fourth step is to visualize the results. Okay, so you have your 2 solutions. You want to pick one, and you want to highlight why that one is more effective at solving the problem than the other one. And you want to show, and not just tell people, you want to show them. You want to create a picture in their mind with your words. You want them to be visualizing how this can work for them. Okay, and so I'll give you an example. Do you want to be a better persuasive speaker? Yes. You can either choose your own method, or you can use a very tried and tested method that people around the globe are using. Now, picture this method. Picture yourself having the skills of some of the most immensely influential and persuasive people in history, like Tony Robbins, Dr. Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln. These people, these speakers, they knew how to persuade people. They knew how to get people onto their team, onto their side, to rally behind them. See how I'm trying to paint a picture, a mental picture in your head of what you could be doing with those skills. Okay? What you could be doing, how you, as the audience, could be benefiting from using this tool that I'm telling you about, which is Monroe's motivated sequence. So that's the fourth one, is to help the audience visualize and really paint a picture for them how the solution that you are presenting to them can help them solve this problem more effectively than the other solution, and more effectively than any solution, right? And then the fifth one, and this one is the most important, okay? The fifth one is the call to action. And this is important because you can persuade people all day long. You can get them to think whatever you want, okay? But if you're not inciting people to action, if you're not getting people to stand up and do something, or pick up the phone and call, or type in something, then all of the time that you've spent trying to persuade them has been for naught. Because if you can get people to take action, that is one of the most powerful skills that you can have as an influencer, as a public speaker, as a human being on the face of this planet. Okay? Think how much effort it takes for somebody to convince you to do something. Okay? Think of how either stubborn you are, or resistant to authority, or how much you don't like being told what to do. Okay? Now imagine if you could get other people to do the things that you would like them to do, or get them to do things that you think needs to be done, right? Let's say that there's a very big cause that you really care about. Let's say that you want to get people pumped up and excited to go volunteer with you on the weekend, okay, to go help an animal shelter. Well, it's these kinds of things that you need to be persuasive for. When you want people to do something, when you want people to take action, because you can't do everything on your own. You need help. And getting other people to help you is one of the ways that you can accomplish incredible things. Okay? So the fifth and the most important is the call to action. Now, the call to action needs to be very clearly stated. Okay? Now, it needs to tell the audience exactly what they can and should do about implementing what you're trying to get them to do. Okay, so in the example that I just spoke of, on trying to get people to go volunteer with you, the call to action would be, send me a text message saying that you can come volunteer and show up. Okay, that's a very clearly stated objective that they can then achieve, right? They can text you, I'm going, and then they can show up. And everybody knows if it happens, right? It's very clear. Now, you also need to make sure that the action that you're trying to get is something that your audience members are able to do. Okay? If you were to tell them, I want you to help me volunteer to get stray animals off the streets. Okay, that's a great goal. that's not very clear. Okay, if you were then to tell them, I want you to organize a team of 15 people and I want you to scour the streets of Baton Rouge or New Orleans, and I want you to cover a 6 by 6 mile territory. Okay, that's not realistic. That's not doable. Okay, you have to give your audience members something that they can do, some action that they can do that is easy or at least realistic for them to do. Okay, so what I would encourage you in this video is to use Monroe's motivated sequence. Okay, that's easy, right? Because I've spent the last 15 minutes telling you exactly what it is, right? Gain the audience's attention, establish a need, satisfy that need, visualize the results, and give the audience a call to action. Okay, those are 5 easy steps that you can take and you can start using today to become a better persuasive speaker. So I would like to say thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully what I've been talking about has been of value to you. If you have any ideas on how to become a better persuasive speaker, I would love to know about them, because I'm always trying to learn how to become a better persuasive speaker as well, right? Monroe's motivated sequence is a powerful tool. It's not the only tool. It could be a good foundation for you to start with, or take a few of the concepts from it and apply that to your own model, okay? Whatever it is, I want to know about it. So let me know, leave a comment below, and have a great day.